Anyways, let's do it. Alright, this is part 7, MMX 100% Speedrun Tutorial. Previously we covered Intro, Penguin, Kwanger, Eagle, Mammoth, and Spark Mandrill. Today we move on to Armored Armadillo. So far in this tutorial I've covered 2 routes, right? Kwanger second and Eagle second. They both converged back at Mandrill. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. But now, so everything is the same from here on out through the end of the game between the 2 routes. So, Armored Armadillo should have no different strats for either route. So let's dive right in here. Armored Armadillo is a really straightforward stage. Lots of riding on carts, which can be kind of fun. Pretty fast. Pretty easy. Should be able to get relatively close to your golds in most cases. There are a couple tricky spots and one really tricky trick. Probably the hardest trick in the game, honestly. The booty grab, the phantom grab of the sub-tank here. And that comes up pretty quickly. The first thing we want to do is we want to get on this cart. And whenever we're mounting carts, we're going to do this a few times throughout the stage. We want to try to get on as early as possible. We don't want to jump. Let me make sure I got to stay. We don't want to jump all the way to the end because that just... the cart starts later, right? We want to land on the left side early to get the cart just going because it's going to be faster than jumping way over here for some reason. So just keep that in mind when mounting a cart. Always try to mount it on the left. Now the carts are going to do damage if you try to hit the spikes and stuff, but try to land as far to the left side as quickly as possible. Jumping up way high and landing on the left side is not going to help you, right? You want to come in low and land on it as soon as you can. And then right away we want to take out some of these bats. There's varying ideas on how many of these bats you should and shouldn't take out because they generate lag being there, but they also generate lag when you drop stuff. I think pretty standard is to take out these first 3 and then 2 more and leave the rest, but you can, if you want, take out a bunch of them. But usually for me, I just go with the first 5 and leave the rest. And that's just sort of a timing thing. You fire 3 before the cart starts to go down the slope, and it'll take down all these guys, and then those 2. Oh, one quick thing to note: if you're missing lives later when you come here for your revisits, this one bat here, he's unique in the whole game. This is the only one of him, and he has a pretty high extra life drop rate. So if for some reason you died somewhere and need to farm some lives later, this guy's a good source for that, and we'll cover that again when we get to the revisit portion. Right now your life count shouldn't really matter, but they say he's 50-50. Certainly doesn't seem like it. He's got a pretty good chance, better than any other enemy to drop lives. So this is where you're gonna farm him. So after we take out these bats, I always turn left to face, and as soon as I kill that ostrich, the cart kills the ostrich, I fire a shot and start charging there. And I use that to take out these bats and this ostrich on the way through. The technique here is a couple different trains of thought. I have been doing a charge shot, 1 lemon, and then another lemon right as I get to him. The problem with that strat is that if you fire your second lemon before your first lemon hits, it's not going to kill him. See? So, in order to ensure that you get the kill, you can do the blue shot and 2 lemons and then 1 more, and you'll get him every time. But it's 1 more lemon creates just a little bit more lag, it seems sometimes. So I've just waited to make sure that my first lemon hits before I fire the second one. And that's due to the dash lemon properties. Only allowed 1 dash lemon on screen at a time. After we kill this guy, we got the booty grab coming up. Oh, wait, one more thing. My cue for when to jump off of the cart Oops. I look at this ostrich here, the one on the ground here, and when the cart takes him out, that's when I go. Once he's dead, we're free to go. And if you stand too far to the right, you're going to get hit by him. You want to stand on the right side of the cart, but not so far right that he hits you. So I just look at his X's toe. Yeah, the booty's going to be part of it. I look at X's, I guess it's his left foot on the right side of the screen, and I just kind of line it up with the edge of the cart, and you should be safe. If you're hanging off, you can hang off a little bit, but if you hang off too far, you're going to get hit. So, kill him, take this guy out, and we've got the booty grab right here, right away. If you don't want to do it, the fastest way to get through here is just going to be take out that bat and do a hop around the corner. Something like that, and just go straight down. But the booty grab has a little bit of an elaborate setup that we need to take a look at, and I'll just show it off once or twice here. The booty grab allows us to phantom grab the sub tank that is normally back here behind this mole borer. This one. Yeah, that's how it works, Mora. So in order to achieve this, we have to collect, again, this is a phantom grab. I've talked about them before in the tutorial. We have to collect a drop one frame before the sub tank spawns, and then it'll spawn in your boomerang instead of where it's supposed to spawn. And then we never have to go back there and awaken the lag monster. It saves about 6 or 7 seconds. It's a pretty big deal, but it's got some RNG components to it, as well as a pretty high execution level. So, in order to achieve it, which apparently I can never do, we want to kill 3 bats with 1 boomerang. And that's to maximize our chances at drops. There it is. See, I've got the sub tank now. I don't have to go back there. Please don't crush me. So in order to achieve this phantom grab of the booty, this setup came up with by Tiki 77747 when he still had 7 7s and a 4 on his name. Now he's just Tiki, but this is his setup. What we do is, after we take this guy out, we do a dash, and then we walk off this edge. We don't want to dash off the edge because we'll end up too far to the right. We want to walk off this edge, and while we're dashing here, we swap to boomerang. It's 2 swaps left. We walk off the edge. Oh my gosh, get out of here, bats. They're so annoying. Walk off the edge, and when we land, we fire a boomerang and then dash. We don't want to dash and boomerang at the same time, because that'll make your boomerang do funky stuff and throw off the timing. So we want to shoot first and then dash. Similar to that first shot in Mandrill, the ice shot. Shoot, dash, and then continue walking. Because we want to walk off this next ledge as well. We don't want to dash off here, we want to walk off this one as well. So, shoot, dash, walk. If you shoot and dash at the same time, stuff like that happens. It'll miss the bat, or it might even like start to curve back down early. So just be sure to shoot first, then dash, and then walk off the edge. And hopefully you've got a drop. For me personally, I find it easiest if the drop comes from the first bat, but it's certainly doable with drops from the rear 2 bats. I find it more difficult to react. And you should be doing it the same every time, but for whatever reason, these back bats just seem more difficult. And that's a problem too. You don't want to not walk off the edge. The timing is very important here because you're trying to time all this around being at a specific spot when your boomerang gets back to you. So if you don't do it exactly right, you're not going to get the grab. There's one. Yeah, I don't know for certain. It feels very different from the back bats, but it's certainly doable. I don't know. I feel like it should be exactly the same, but it might not be. I also feel like I don't know, maybe I have more time to mentally prepare if the drop comes from the first bat. Honestly, I don't know why it's harder with the back bats for me, and it seems to be common among other runners as well. Tiki, Baba. I think most anybody who does this trick can attest to it being harder to do from a drop from a back bat for no real discernible reason yet. So, anyways, the key here is you want to get a drop. It's RNG. You may or may not get one. If you don't get one, you just move on. Or if you beef it, you just move on. You don't go behind him yet. We have another chance at this later because we're coming back here for revisits. So whether we get it or not, we just go, right? But in order to get it, there's a pretty specific spot you want to press left as you're falling here. And my cue is X's arm, his outstretched arm to the left of the screen. It's his right arm, but it's to the left of the screen. It sticks straight out when he's falling. I use that against this bracket here on the wall. 1 or 2 pixels above this bracket with his hand out, with his outstretched hand, is where I press left. Now, you want to walk off here as close to the wall as possible. You don't want to walk way off the edge and then try to come back. And that's why you see people sometimes just not walk off at all, because you're trying to be as close to this as possible when you walk off. Now, once you've walked off the edge, just eyeball his left hand or his right hand and press left. 1 or 2 frames above that bracket. I've got a picture. It's not a great picture, but I can't really point to it with my mouse, but hopefully that sort of helps explain it a little bit. We're looking at his outstretched arm, and we want to press left 1 or 2 pixels above the bracket in the wall. I'm not sure the exact position, and it seems like it may vary between big drops and small drops, but that's the general area we're looking at when we do this. So you're just gonna have to practice it. It's a tough trick, and if you don't feel comfortable going for it, it's perfectly acceptable to just bail, not even do it, and just come back later and get it when you have C-Sting and can just go back there. But it saves a bunch of time. So if you're looking for a really good time, or you're not concerned about a small time loss by going for it, I recommend going for it. So that's the trick. Another thing I guess I could point out is that I'm holding a charge here when I do it, and that's like I'll fire this boomerang here and I hold the charge from that shot, and the only reason I do that is so that I would not forget to hold the charge next time, because if you don't get it next time, you're gonna have to swap to C-Sting here, and you're gonna need a charge ready to get through that mole borer. So the first time here doesn't matter because you're not going to be going back there. You don't have C-Sting. But I just hold it out of habit just to make sure that every time I do this I'm holding wide in case I have to go back there and get it. But this first time what I'll do is I'll hold the charge and then I'll dump it right away. Or I'll do something else. I've done other things like like a charge spark here to take out some of these guys. It's a little risky because this first bat can drop ammo and you don't have time to swap off to Buster, so it doesn't slow you down. And another one I would do is I'd swap the ice and put an ice sled on that Met, which is kind of fun. No, the time loss is not 7 seconds if you miss it. It's considerably less. 1 to 2 seconds tops per attempt, I guess. I mean, the time loss versus getting it, yeah, this is something like 7 seconds. But versus just not going for it at all, it's less. It's way less. Right, I mean, you could just not go for it. And now you've saved a second and a half maybe, over going for it, but you've given up a chance at 6 to 7 seconds. It's 5? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's kind of a slow setup. But, yeah. So do whatever you want to do when you don't get it or get it. You can dump the charge right away. You can do this spark. You can do a sled. You can do whatever. You're going to have to get rid of a charge. Or you can just not charge at all. Just remember that the second time you're going to have to charge, because if you don't get it, you need the charge cease thing. And that'll come up when we do revisits. So right now, either don't charge at all or find a way to get rid of your charge without causing problems. I think I've grown fond of the ice sled lately, just because these Met guys are idiots. And the ice sled's not going to generate a bunch of lag or anything. But just dumping it, letting a boomerang go is also pretty okay. Okay, so after we've either gotten or failed the booty grab, we gotta outrun this guy. He's a one-hit kill. We don't want him to kill us, so we're just gonna dash through here. We gotta jump over a couple Mets, and then right here, get out of my life. Right here, you can do a kick off this corner to get up here. I think it's a slightly faster method. A little kick off the corner here. Another option is to just disregard the corner and kick the wall. And so at some point, I swap off of whatever I'm on to Buster through this section. These Mets can be a little annoying to dodge, because you don't have a whole lot of headroom here. And then once we get over here, we got one more Met to dodge. Now, these bats, you can sort of do whatever you want. I like to come kill the first one with a Buster shot on the way over. That's why I swapped to Buster. And then I shoot an ice shot at the wall to take out the other two. You really don't need to kill them, but I think less enemies on the screen is generally better for lag. So, you can do it however you want. There's really no right way. I like the lemon and the ice shot. You're gonna have to do a wall kick here to get up. So, I shoot the ice when I'm kicking the wall, but really you can just leave them if you want. It's really not laggy at all to leave them. So, moving on. Get out of here. Once we're up here, there's this step section. The best way is to just get down here in one jump, clearing all the way to this bottom platform, taking out some bats along the way. There's a couple different ways you can take out the bats. You shoot one low before you jump, and it'll take out the bottom bat. Or what I do is I just take them out on the way down, all 4 of them. This does not cover chameleon third. If you're doing chameleon third, you probably don't need a tutorial. Was my thought process. Another way you can get down here is, this is what I used to do, is I would just dash off of each step. Now this is going to be obviously slower, but it's super safe. This is what I did when I was learning. So I'll just dash off every step. You're not going to crash into anything. And you'll make pretty good progress. And it's really easy. The timing on this jump can be a little tight, because stuff like that can happen. You can hit the wall, and that's never good. And you can come up short. You know, you can you know, land on this step. Things happen. So if you're not comfortable with this, making it all the way to the bottom, this dashing off each step is a pretty easy alternative. More reminder, all the other parts are above in the collections tab on my stream. If you wanted to go back and watch them, they'll all be together, and maybe even uploaded to YouTube. So, anyways, this is the way I do it. Then once we're here, we've got these rolly guys and some nets going on that we need to avoid. You can shoot them. There's a bunch of different ways to get through here. You can shoot them and knock them down. You can use a green shot to take them out. I don't know, fire wave. I mean, there's all sorts of different ideas you could do here. But one thing of note is these bats. There's a bunch of these bats, and if they're alive, you can't do a dash kick around the corner. Because you'll crash into that bat like that. So that's exactly what I said, Tiki. You not listening? So the way I do this is I use, we call it the bat sweeper. I use a charged spark shot to take out those bats. And I also try to take out these first 2 rolly guys for a little bit of lag reduction. So in order to do that, it's 2 lemons. Only one of them needs to be a dash lemon, so they can both be on screen at the same time. So I'll shoot 2 as I'm dashing here, and then one as I land, and another one as I dash. And then I'll start my charge after that 4th lemon. And then jump over to that mat, and that's what I'm swapping to E-Spark. And now, I guess I could just show it. I'll just show it at full speed and then explain it. 1, 2, 3, swaps to the right. And release the spark sort of right over the top of the mat, and it takes out all those bats. That's a risky run right there of running into the rolly guy. And now you can do your dash kick all the way around the end. The jump over the rolly guy and the mat is pretty tight right here. And the cue I use for that is I'm looking at this rock here in the foreground. Sort of in X's dash animation, his elbow sticks out in front of him, as does his fist. You see, there's too many friggin' enemies. But you see how he sort of sticks his elbow out in front of him and his hand? I'm looking at that as his hand appears in front of this rock as you dash through it. That's sort of my cue to jump over the Met and the rolly guy. If you jump too late, you're going to run into the rolly guy. If you jump too early, you're going to land on the Met. So, or you might not be high enough when you release your spark. So, that's my cue. You might be able to come up with a cue for yourself. But the whole idea here is that the spark takes out these bats and allows you to dash kick around the corner, and also alleviates lag because the bats are all dead. Now when I'm doing this spark, like after I've released the spark, I'm holding both weapon swap buttons so that when the spark goes away, it just weapon cancels back to the buster, because these bats can drop ammunition that you do not want to collect. It just slows you down. You don't need it for anything. And by swapping to buster, it doesn't delay the game at all. And you can buffer weapon cancels. You can't buffer weapon swaps for whatever reason, but you can buffer weapon cancels to go off as soon as said weapon is off screen. So I use that to my advantage here. Fire the spark. And then weapon cancel to avoid any drops. Now again, we got another cart. This one's a little tougher to sort of mount quickly, because you got a pretty high chance of crashing into the spike on the end. Oh, let me. So when we dash kick around this corner, we land all the way here, and we just hop on the left edge. But if you're not killing the bats, you have to do a regular kick. You're going to land up here on top. Now you can make this jump from here straight to the cart. It's kind of tight, but certainly doable. Better than doing something like like this. So just be aware that if you're up top here, you can make this, and that would be your best bet, because that lands you right on the left side. Now, if you do the dash kick around the corner, you're going to be here. You can do a little short hop onto the left side. Don't be doing this, jumping way over here, doing weird stuff. Just try to get right on the left side quickly. Now, for this section, you can just stand here. The cart will take out all the enemies. You'll get some health in your sub-tanks and stuff. And everything's good. You gotta be a little bit careful. Like, I have a tendency to just look away during this section. I'll look at chat or whatever. But this bat, right there, the one on the corner here, can sort of be a jerk sometimes. It can knock you right off the cart. And I don't really know what causes that to happen, but I just know it happened to me at AGDQ and multiple times before and after. So just keep an eye out. If he does hit you for some reason, you're gonna have to find a way to recover. I don't think there's any good recovery, good backup plan for that. Just be aware. Don't be like me and stare over here and then oh no, I'm just standing here now, and we just stand here. Get on the right side of the cart, and then this miner here is my cue to jump off the cart. The last one of the row. And it's like as soon as my thing hits him, I do a dash jump off the cart, and you get a bunch of speed from dash jumping off these carts. You want to land here. You don't want to clear the whole thing, because then you'll have too much speed and it'll carry you all the way over here, and you'll have to do like a slide. What you want to do is you want to land and then jump off. Now you have regular dash speed and you can shoot the gap. If you do something like this, now you can't go. You end up over here, and you have to. If you end up down here, you have to slide down. You can slide down in front of him, or if you're at regular dash speed, you can shoot this gap, which is ideal. That's what you want to do. Now if you accidentally just walk off this edge, you can do a kick on the wall, or you can, you know, if you accidentally touch the wall and lose your dash speed, you can sort of do that, slide down the wall. But ideally, you want to have regular dash speed and shoot the gap, like so. And this is, while I'm falling, is when I swap the boomerang, because we've got a heart here that we want to grab. It's not a very hard heart grab. I think I do like 5 dashes here and then a short hop here. You gotta let go right. There's no way around it. I don't think. I mean, unless you're godlike or want to slide on the wall. You sort of have to let go of right very briefly to get the heart. But what I do is I just try to barely clear this corner and then just move on. Very brief let go of right. Swap the boomerang. Some dashes, hop, hop. And then a dash kick. Now here, once I've collected this heart, I'm holding both weapon swap buttons to cancel back to Buster as soon as the fanfare is over. Both weapon swap buttons and jump. And then what I want to do is I want to shoot that bat with a lemon. If you shoot him with a boomerang, you're going to be in trouble because now that boomerang's chasing you, and you won't be able to swap off boomerang. And you need to be on Buster to kill these 2 bats, otherwise they're going to hit you. Again, mounting the cart on the far left side as quickly as possible. Fire 2 lemons on the flat part. This flat part here over the spike pit, and they'll hit both of those bats. If you don't hit them, they'll hit you, and you don't want that. So 2 lemons here, and then we've got all these birds here, and they cause a bunch of lag. So we can avoid these birds by jumping over their spawn triggers. Their spawn triggers are attached to X being on the cart. And if X is not on the cart, when you cross the spawn triggers, the birds won't spawn. And that will save you a bunch of lag. And there's 2 different ways that I've seen people do this. One is staying on the cart and doing a series of jumps. This is the way I do it. No birds, right? The other way is jumping off the cart and remounting. This one I find a little more difficult. I don't think either way is faster than the other. But those are your 2 options. Now I'm going to cover them more specifically. But just be aware that if you fall off this cart, it's a huge time loss. Because you have to go all the way back to here to get a new cart. Another thing is that there's a possibility that you will just clip through the cart by jumping on it at the wrong time. And I think it has something to do with the slopes, right? X is falling downwards, landing back on the cart. As the cart rises up, and these just sort of pass through each other. You take some damage and your cart goes away and you're stuck here. There's a pretty awesome clip of Sopa falling through the cart. Like, here's the big spot where it tends to happen. Down right at the end. You'll clip through the cart right here and then even maybe fall in the pit and die. The best way to avoid that is to just try to land on flat parts, I think. Or just follow specific jumping patterns that you know are not going to clip you through the cart. So the way I do it is I'm looking at not the first miner here, but the second one that just died. Right before him, I start doing jumps. And I'll do 5 of them, I think. 4? Yeah, 4. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you gotta wait, otherwise you'll hit those bats. So a short delay after the 4th jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Short hop, and then another one. And you want to start charging as well. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Short delay. 5. Short hop. I goofed my short hop, but the short hop despawns that last bird. Oops, that's not the strat I'm showing right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delay. 1. Short one. Big one. And start the charge. Start the charge on your 5th big jump after the short hop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delay. 5. Short hop. Big jump and charge. That's my strat. I know Louise does the off the cart strat, but it's very similar. The charge timing is anyways. What you want to do, same timing, just before the second miner, after the bats, jump off the cart, and you do 2 dash jumps forward, back on the cart, and then just before this miner, or maybe even as you're killing him, you got to do a sort of gauged jump. Because if you jump too high, you might hit this bat on the ceiling. If you jump too low, you'll crash into this miner. So you sort of have to know what you're doing before you do it. 1, 2, back on the cart, and then see, I don't do this strat, so 1, 2, back on the cart, 1, 2, shoot, and then a short hop here. That's the idea. And you'll notice there's still no bats or birds. 1, 2, back on the cart. 1, 2, back on the cart. Short hop and a charge. And then once you're charging and you've avoided the spawn triggers for all the birds, your cue for when to jump here is basically right when the ramp leaves, or the cart leaves this ramp. That's when you want to dash jump off the cart towards the door. In either setup. Both setups are the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, delay, 1, short hop, big charge, and then as soon as the thing's leaving. And now I'm holding right. I want to make sure, because we got, this is a pretty big spot here, right? This is where we get the Hadoken. We want to make sure that we see not only the health capsule, but the blue sky behind it. In this area, we want to see at least a little bit of blue sky to the right of the health capsule, which is where the Hadoken capsule spawns. And that's what we call getting a visit. And I'll cover it more when I get to the revisits, but the idea is that you want to get 4 visits, and then on the 5th visit, it appears. And a visit is counted when you see where the capsule will spawn. So, we want to make sure we get one on the way through here the first time, and then we'll come back later to get the rest and the Hadoken capsule. So you want to make absolutely certain that you get this visit on the way through in 100%. And that's why we jump a little later than you could in any percent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, short hop. Something like this. You don't have to see quite that much, but that one was no good. That one was good. Now I'm holding right as I leave this thing, but once I get to the wall, or near the wall, I let go of right. And the momentum from the cart will carry you into the door. If you're holding right, you'll just slide down the wall, end up on the cart, fall in the pit, and die. So, make sure you get your visit, and then once you're close to the wall, you can just let go of right. And the momentum of the cart will carry you all the way to the door. Easy peasy. And the goal here is to get a visit, and then also get the swoosh, where you don't even touch the wall or the ground. Swoosh! Ideally, that's what it looks like, kinda. Sometimes you'll go for it and you'll just end up beefing everything, looking like a damn fool. But it's easy enough to just get close to the wall and then let go of right. And that's it for the stage. Now we're going to go into the Armadillo fight. Now we're holding this charge because we want a pink charge when we get into the fight. Because the full charge shot will hit Armored Armadillo as soon as the fight starts. Doing, I think it's 6 HP of damage. In most boss fights, their weakness will do 3 hearts of damage, and their the charged variation of their weakness will do 4. For whatever reason, that's not the case with Armadillo. It does 6 HP of damage. Which is pretty crazy. Obviously, regular lemons are going to do 1, dash lemons are going to do 2. Let's find out what these other ones do. I didn't even see. I think that's just 2 for the blue shot. And then just 1 for your other ones. Yeah, Dillo's a little bitch. This fight is very easy. But he can troll your ass. So, the main idea here is you want to just let go of Y, and that charge shot will hit him right away for 6 damage, and then you want to jump over his roll. He's going to do this roll every time. Now, how long he rolls is up to him, and you can't damage him anymore after this first shot until he stops rolling. Everything will just take off of him. But as soon as he stops rolling, you can shoot him with another one, and he loses his armor. And then it's pretty straightforward after that. If you keep shooting, it's really nice. This is what you want to see. But he can also start rolling again, but now that his armor's gone, you can damage him while he's rolling. And what I'll do is I'll start another charge as soon as that one's released. And if he takes longer than 2 times hitting the ground, like if he opens right away, I'll just release the charge that I've started. Or if he releases on this second hit, if he opens on this, oops, that's a tornado. If he opens now or now, I'll release the charge and just hit him with a regular shot to get his armor off, and then start another charge. When he's losing his armor, you want to start building another charge because it does so much damage, and you can't hurt him while he's doing it, losing his armor. So, regardless of when he opens, while he's losing the armor, you want to build another charge. And so that's the other one. I'll release it right away. Anything more than that, I'll continue to charge for a third. I guess it would be the second, but there would be 3. He's giving me all the good patterns. This is stupid. I want a bad one. Yeah, okay. So even if he does that third roll, I'll hold till pink and get him with that, and then I'll get him with a third one. And then finish him off with just the regular shots. Now the strategy here with the regular shots is, oh, I guess let's, hold on. When I'm getting this charge shot as his armor's being removed, see, this is a really bad pattern. It's probably a reset pattern. Honestly, yeah. If this were a run, it's over. But when I'm working on this charge while he's losing his armor, when I get to gold, I bonk him so that I can stand right next to him and release my pink shot as soon as he's vulnerable, or as soon as I get it. So I get to yellow, I bonk him, and then stand basically inside of him so that I can release my pink shot as soon as it's ready. And then once you've got that second pink shot done, the rest of the fight is very trivial. So I'll bonk him, do this, and then I'll give him a little space. Now the goal with these shots is to, I want the first one to hit him as soon as his iframes wear off, but I've got that second one behind it in case the first one was early and hits him on iframes. So it's just sort of a safety, because we've got plenty of ammo for this fight. If he starts rolling again, the timing is such that you should be able to hit him every time he comes down to your level, but it can be a little hard to get that timing just right, and so I usually opt for like a spray and pray type tactic when he starts rolling again. But the majority of the time he's just gonna stand there and shoot stuff at you. Now you see that wall shot I just did? That's a pretty cool technique. It only works for the last hit. And the way it works is it just sort of sits on him while he's on iframes. And if he's against the wall, you can shoot one on the wall. It'll just sit on him until his iframes wear off. And you'll get a frame perfect hit for the last hit for free. And you can use that time to sort of line yourself up a little better in the center as well. It's really a pretty straightforward fight. That's ideal. That was the ideal fight. And you'll get that pretty often. And until he starts rolling like this, then you gotta look at other stuff. But bada bing. I mean, it's really easy. You shouldn't have much trouble with this fight at all. Unless he just rolls forever like this. But 2 shots and then jump, 2 shots and then jump, and then put one on the wall for the last shot, and it's over. It's really easy. So, that about covers everything I could think of to cover here in Armored Armadillo stage. Oops, I let go a little early. If you guys got any comments or concerns, don't be afraid to ask. Try to answer whatever I can. Oh yeah, I guess Lasso makes a good point. If you're gonna bonk him like I do, like here, you don't want to do it as you're, you don't want to release your charge as you're hitting him, because your charge will just disappear, right? So, boom, no shot, your charge just goes away. So you want to make sure that your feet are back on the ground. That's why you bonk him when you're yellow. Now your feet are on the ground. Nice tornado. So bonk him as soon as you turn yellow. Your feet will be on the ground, and then you don't have to worry about losing your charge. I think it's just mostly when, yeah, if he's still in the hit stun animation, he's gonna lose the charge and not shoot anything if you release it then. So another thing to just be aware of, and that applies in other places as well. It'll come up again in the next segment, which is Octopus. Oops. But anyways, that's it for this one. Like I said, if you got any questions or comments, if I put it on YouTube, leave them there. Or just message me, whatever. I'm available. So, Next time we're gonna cover our launch octopus. Now my goal is to get these done before I leave for SGQ on Saturday. So the next day or two, I'll try to get octopus and chameleon done, and then we'll have our 8 mavs done, and maybe we could do the revisits and save the Sigma stages for when I get back. But for another time, octopus is next. Fun stage, lots of mini bosses, lots of problems, but it's fun. Until next time, peace.